So you want to build an Aeron Annihilator? I got you covered. Heed the Atlas call. Let's build the Annihilator. Magfield landing thruster dead center on the cross. I use Titan-Class Habs. You are going to be building a lot of them. Right away, we offset build. Up and forward. We now replicate 1, 2, 3, all the way forward. Replicate down. We need to offset build down now, forward and down. Like that. Remove that hab. And we now add an Atlas or Aeron power shield right on top there. We move this hab up to be in line, replicate it down after we do an offset. Up and forward. So this is the Aeron Blade. By default, it mounts horizontally, but if you rotate, it mounts vertically. Attach it to the underside. The goal is to get the glowing core of the power shield in the center of that half circle. We're going to be setting 2 to the side, going down, then move that hab so that you can replicate, flip, and place. Remove the hab, perfectly centered power core. Replicate back. We want the point to be either side, top and bottom of that glowing power core, 1 hab apart. Next step, we're adding another power core. That means offset building, forward and down. Place another hab, 1 square back. Need to Rockhopper this forward. Now we are going to replicate the Aeron power core and mount it like so. Now we are going to add horizontal Aeron Blades. Offset build. Back and to the right. That's the look we're going for. Let's Rockhopper this back. Till that's square on that power shield. Replicate an Aeron Blade. And place. Check that it is surrounding that power core. And now we work to replicate that blade on the starboard. Build up, across, move this, and anchor it underneath. That's the simplest trick that I have found to get a tight offset build. Replicate your blade and place right there. So that's the start of the nose. reference. Take a look. All right, let's move on. We're going to build out the rest of the body. Diagonally up. 2 habs by 2 habs. And then single habs going all the way up. We're going to get some walkways now. Won't anchor that far back, but it will anchor there. Cockpit on the top deck. Put an Aeron Blade at the back to increase the streamlined look. I add a full hab underneath and a landing bay 1 deck below the cockpit. Place that landing bay there for now, but we will move it later on. So that's the deck layout that you want. Let's continue the line of the ship. We are now mounting 2 Aeron Blades 1 hab width apart, and we will be mounting power shields in those circles as we go on. We'll continue the build out of the spine. Remove habs as you need. You're looking for a nice continuous bladed line all the way through. Add and remove habs as you need. And 1 more on top of the cockpit. Great thing is these blades are so narrow that it really does not impact your field of view from the cockpit. Alright, let's get those Aeron power shields installed. So you replicate this over. This one on the bottom. Remove that center hab. We are looking for that offset build anchor point. Remove that bottom hab and move it up. And we want to have a square even right there. But I want it a little lower. Time to offset build. We are going to offset back and down. Just like that. But now our square alignment has been messed up, so we need to Rockhopper it forward by 1/2 step. Remove the ducting outlet. There we go. Replicate an Aeron power shield. Like that. Let's duplicate that hab over to the other side. Place another one. Alright. We're going to move this back up like that. Move this underneath. You want it in line with the main spine of the ship. What we're looking for is to add this part, the Aeron Pillar, like so. So there's the line of the prow. Remove that hab on the bottom. And we're going to add the dorsal fin. We're going to add the fin along the bottom. Okay, before things get too complicated, take a look at how it is built in the nose section. let's move on. So our docking bay is there. That's our reference point. We add one walkway on either side on the square just in front of that bottom landing bay. Now that's set, we'll build out the port or the left side wing. First, we add one Wings of Aeron, one square back from that one walkway. To make it anchored, we grab an reinforced hull link. Just like that. Okay, so we get a hab. We attach it square in like that. Continue that line out. Replicate this Wings of Aeron and mount it like that. You're using the cross line of your landing bay build area as reference. You want the tip to be just behind, one square behind, level with the front. The reason is we're adding an Aeron Blade to the outside of that Wings of Aeron, and you want that tip just across the center line. So that's your layout, and that's the basic structure. We're now working on placing the habs so we can mount those Aeron shield generators right near these red dots. So we want to Rockhopper this forward. One back like so. Grab the Aeron power shield and place. We're going to place another one there in the same orientation. So that requires us to redo our work for this original Wings of Aeron that we did. So we'll grab another hab. Alright, before we move on to that other Aeron power shield, we'll install an engine on the back side of this Wings of Aeron. So you offset build it down, and you're looking for the hab to clip through your Wings of Aeron like this. Dead center. One pitfall you want to be wary of when you're installing this engine is to not have the hab too far clipped through. As you'll see here, you use a Widebody Thruster and the dust disappears inside the wing. Can't get to it. Won't look good, and it just is a little too janky. When you're doing this kind of aggressive clipping, oftentimes it will just not be accessible to delete the hab. So you'll just need to remove a few parts, delete the Aeron. While it's gone, we'll remove the engine and Rockhopper this back 1/2 step. Like that. Alright, don't remove that. Replicate your Wings of Aeron. You can use your Aeron power shield and your Aeron blade to make sure you have the right orientation. And that is the clipping of the hab and the Wings of Aeron that you want to install this Widebody Thruster right on the end like that. Can get the hab without removing the Wings of Aeron. but it's very finicky. And with this hab here to remount it, there's no need to be crazy, like me. Alright. Add back in that Aeron Blade. Now everything is anchored. That's a top-down view. Let's finish building this port side wing. Alright, we want to grab this hab. There we go. So, step 1 is to get that power shield installed. You can check how it mounts by looking at it like that. You can also replicate the habs over and make your work easier. Tomorrow night here, with a quick PSA, I left the following footage in just for ease of use, but do not install this engine. It will lead to more cosmetically important engines not being visible. You can see them highlighted here. I would advise following the footage, but don't install the engine. I only discovered at the very end of the filming. Again, move the hab forward like you see here, but do not copy the Widebody Thruster. This is tomorrow night. I'll be back soon. And before you forget, remove your Rockhopper. We will be pushing near the complexity limit, and we don't want stray parts. Okay. I'm going to remove the Wings of Aeron for now, just to make sure I can get rid of the hab on the inside. Now I'm going to work at getting the Aeron power shield installed. Again, we're going to Rockhopper this. Like so. You add an Aeron blade to the side of this hull linkage. Rotate it and attach it to the bottom. Like so. And add another Widebody Thruster to the end. So that's your layout. But we're going to add a few more engines. You attach an Aeron Drive to the top deck where your cockpit is. We also add Arcadia heavy boosters. I'm currently mounting them one deck below the cockpit, but later I suggest that you mount it 2 decks below the cockpit. You'll see that correction later in the video. We add one more Aeron blade up near the top. Like that. That's one deck below the cockpit. We add Arcadia wing module, and you want to set it just behind the double Aeron power shield that we built before. Attach Aeron blades, cutting through the back of your Arcadia wing modules, like so. So let's move over to the starboard or the right side of the ship. Replicate the reinforced hull link, and then the Wings of Aeron. Just work your way out. I call Corvettes of this size capital ship class because they are just that massive. This is about the same size front to back as the Dictator, and about double the width, moving engines over, those wide body thrusters. And I'm just going to go forward, replicate a hab, rather than going into the menu again. And we'll just gradually build our way out. There's no hard and fast. The snapping points behave differently on the starboard and the port side. So you just have to find out what works and check your alignments. That looks about right. Mount our Wings of Aeron. Go vertical. Yep, that's alignment. Forward. And one to the right. Attach your blade to the outside. Double check your alignment. Yep, too far forward. One back. There we go. Just going to remove some parts and move things around. We get clean snapping points. Just remove that Wings of Aeron. We're working on adding this Aeron Blade to the outside. Check port and starboard. Make sure they're symmetrical. And that is the basic outline of your wings. Okay, let's add that detailing in. So we're going to be adding 2 Aeron power shields and 1 Aeron thruster to the outside Wings of Aeron. Need to rock up this forward 1/2 step. Grab our old friend, the Aeron power shield, in place. There is no functional benefit to adding this many shields. Completely unnecessary and over the top. But that's what we do here at Nighttime Gaming. We're looking for that nice setup. That's a little high. So that alignment's no good. So we fix it by offset building. Up and to the back. That looks about right. Let's test it out. There we go. Gonna move our ducting outlet to the back. Offset build our hab back and to the right, and Rockhopper forward. There's our setting. Remove the Rockhopper. Don't quit making the Corvette. You could add twin sublight jets to the back if you wanted. That creates a double stream. I just personally like the way the Widebody Thrusters fit. Come on. If it wants to be a butthead, move a walkway over, remove the Wings of Aeron, and then replace it. Stupid hab. Tomorrow night here again. Just cut out the footage of that unnecessary Widebody Thruster. Back to your regularly scheduled program. Perfect. Place that Aeron Blade there. So that's the wings. Now we're going to work on this core section. So we're attaching a hab, level with that walkway, one deck above. And we are adding an Aeron Drive all the way back. So it's clipping through that Aeron power shield and the Wings of Aeron, like so. Port and starboard, left and right. All right. So I like to use the Arcadia Blade with these Aeron parts. The angularity and the polygonality of it fit very well. So I place one there, either side of the hab, clipping into the Arcadia wings. And I place one here, but I actually don't like using that there. Instead, I install our reactors there. The Ceto-Class Reactor. Comment down below if you know what I've called the Ceto-Class Reactor before. Hint. Think Pelican. That's the line we're going for. Now, I personally think this could use a little thickening up, but you could leave it a thin tower. But me, I add another set of Wings of Aeron, and I anchor it forward. If you're still watching, that means you are loving this Corvette. If you are, consider subscribing. It really helps me grow the channel. You can also like and comment down below. I want it on the deck. Up from that, so I need to remove that blade, replicate a hab, and then attach the wing there. Like that. So it creates that U shape. Move this forward. A little too far forward. There we go. Replace the blade. Clipping through like that. You could look for a place to add an Arcadia aerofoil. That would be another good addition to this style of ship. But I do not use it in this build. Try it there. Nah. Right. Let's add some more Arcadia Blades. One on each side. And then we add Aeron winglets to the front of some of these halves to increase the lethality of the ship, or at least the appearance of it. Now I'm adding 2 Aeron winglets here, but later in the video I actually add windows to where I just put those winglets. I like being able to see out. It's one of the amazing things about the Corvette system. So what we're doing now is moving some habs over and getting ready to do some offset building so we can install our weapon systems. And because this is nighttime gaming, we don't just attach them any old place. We attach them dead center on these Wings of Aeron. So once you have this set up, take your ducting outlet and do an offset build forward and to the right. You want your hab in line with the Wings of Aeron nose, 1 hab width below. I'm going to move it up now so you can see the idea. So it's going to be mounted dead center on that Wings of Aeron tip. So you see here the Deadeye cannon. That's a good mix, as well as the Cyclotron and the Infraknife. So, Deadeye cannon here. But I think we can do better than that. You can put an Infraknife there. But what's cooler than having it stick out is rockhopping it back 1/2 step. And installing it clipped in. The Cyclotron Defense cannon also fits really nicely there, and you get that cool rotating tracking orb right at the top. So I'm going to put a pair of Cyclotrons on these interior Wings of Aeron. Build out and forward. Going to have to offset build that to get it in line. And then rock hop it back. Build our Cyclotron inside. Tracking orb live and ready. Just giving you some static frames for reference. So, after checking the front profile, I decided I wanted a pair of Arcadia Blades to join up in the middle, right at the forward point, right there, and one back, like so. Okay, now we just replicate the work on the other side. Looking deadly. Here's a rear reference. There's that hole there, so we'll fix that. You can attach an Aeron Blade to fill that out. Yeah, that looks good. So we are now going to be adding Infraknife platforms to the outside Wings of Aeron. So you can start out anchoring your hab to whatever you have available, but we are going to be offset building so that the hab is underneath the tip of the Wings of Aeron. So we are going to move this back and to the port side, duplicating over to the starboard. We want to build down. If you notice that it's hard to select the hab, I advise setting up a anchor point hab for your Wings of Aeron so you can come back and just delete it. Make your life easier. But sometimes you get lucky and you see the deletion point. So we're going to add the Infraknife platform now. place and remove. Now for the port side. So again, grab one of your construction habs and place it wherever you can. Attach your ducting outlet to the front of the hab and offset build it forward and to the port side. In general, if you can, I would very strongly advise to use your construction habs and place them on the outside of the parts that you're building with. It makes everything a lot easier. Alright, here's the review. Here's your Wings of Aeron nose section. That's what your Arcadia Blade section looks like. Side profile of your ship. Now you add the Aeron Blades on top. Create a surrounding for those engines. Now I'm going to move these Arcadia Heavy boosters down one deck. And that's so that we can see the engine outlets of the Aeron Drives. So there's the front. There's the top. This thing is so huge, it is very hard to get everything in camera. But we'll do a slow fly around of our progress so far. Yes, there's more. Alright, before we move on, tie everything together. Dark gray and blue, metallic finish for the whole Corvette. Ties everything together. Ooh, that looks sinister. Alright, let's move on to some final touches. The first finalization in the build, we found this gap where a hab can go. So we're going to go in and fill that with a hab. Get a Titan class hab and find there. The really cool thing, we're going to add a little observation window right at the front. You won't see much out the front, but you will be able to see the planet you're about to attack. Moving on to the rear, we are going to move the Titan class landing bay one deck down, so it's a little easier to get into the Corvette. We're also going to add a window right above where the landing bay used to attach. Before we add another window above that one, we're going to go to the front and remove that Aeron winglet just underneath the cockpit and replace it with a window. That will provide some panoramic, stunning views as you annihilate your enemies. Going back to the rear, we're going to remove this fuel pod cover, add it off camera, and replace with a seamless window. I really love having windows in my Corvette. Alright, we're going to add some ladders on the inside. and finalize the Corvette. One thing you may run into is with this many modules, you might be out of tech slots. You go to the Starship upgrade in the back and just buy another one. 15 million units. But red engine trails are worth it. Just install your extra tech slot. And install your Aeron Starship trail. So heading on the inside, we're going to go a ladder in the front square, heading up. There's your view out. Head up. You have a whole hab in front, one on each side, a window in the back. This ladder is in the back square, going up. Next one is in the back square, going up. Window in the rear again. No window in the front for this one. Another deck up. There's your bridge access hatch, your observation deck. And up here is the bridge. And that's the ship. Let's do one final fly around for review. Just in case you didn't hear the news, the expedition where you get these parts ends November 5th. So if you have yet to run the expedition, get going. And that's the Aeron Annihilator. Until next time, I'll see you in the stars, travelers.